Imagine boarding an Alaska Airlines flight in Seattle, and just 10 hours later, you're in Tokyo, stuffing your cute little face with the best ramen of your life. Starting May 12th, Alaska Airlines, who is now partnered with Hawaiian Airlines, is offering nonstop service between Seattle and Tokyo. You can enjoy Pacific Northwest snacks and drinks on the way over, like a glass of Waterbrook Winery Brut sparkling wine, a straightaway Oregon Old Fashioned, and a chunk of Beecher's fantastic cheese. And then you can grab an onigiri in Narita Airport as soon as you land. Book today at alaskaair.com or hawaiianairlines.com. Welcome to The Leftovers. I'm Rachel Belle. The Leftovers is audio left on the cutting room floor from last week's Your Last Meal interview. And today, you'll hear never-before-heard cuts from W. Kamau Bell, Emmy and Peabody award-winning comedian, director, producer, and best-selling author. On last week's episode, we talked about his trip to Kenya with Anthony Bourdain, the politics of macaroni and cheese and Black culture, and how he picked his go-to mac and cheese recipe.
So let me be clear. I do not invent recipes. I go to the internet and Google easiest way to make X. Last night I have a hamburger recipe and I just Googled easy hamburger recipe and I look for the one with the least ingredients that has the least sort of like nuance to it and make that.
No bells, no whistles.
I cook a lot in our house, but I have my go-to meals. And so the mac and cheese recipe is literally a recipe that I Googled that is like easy mac and cheese. I'm going to Google it right now. This morning I made easy French toast. I just saw the easy French toast recipe.
If you missed it, I recommend going back and listening to last week's episode first. But if you're all caught up, let's get into The Leftovers with W. Kamau Bell. Before I let you go, I'm going to do a little speed round. Number one, what is your perfect birthday cake?
German chocolate. Unfortunately made by my stepmom who passed away, but that's the thing that my wife tries to find me for my birthday is German chocolate cake. I'm a big coconut fan. I don't even really like chocolate cake, but I like German chocolate cake.
Is that another recipe that you don't have from your family?
Yeah, she might, knowing her, it's probably written down somewhere because I've never asked for it or looked for it, but she was a gourmet cook. I bet it's too hard for me to make. I'm just
easy luckily my German chocolate cake.
Yeah, luckily my wife's sister is a pastry chef. And so sometimes she will make things for all of us for our various birthdays because she knows that she's got a gift.
That's a good family to marry into, the pastry chef people. Mm-hmm. Do you live in Oakland still? Okay, You live in Oakland. What is your perfect Bay Area burrito?
It's funny. I don't even know the name of it. It's this burrito place in Montclair. And the reason why I like it is because they have ground beef burritos, which are very rare in the Bay Area. I moved here from Chicago, and it took me forever to get over the fact that most places just have carne asada, and I used to never get carne asada. I've sort of aged into it now, but like there's a place in the Montclair Village. Oh, man, I should know the name of it. It's called Taqueria something or other. It's like I get a baby super burrito because I want it smaller because I'm not eating the whole burrito anymore.
Yeah.
And it's got ground beef.
I'm trying to find. Is it called Taqueria Las Comadres?
What street is it on? Does it say?
Mountain Boulevard?
Yep, there it is.
Is that it? Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
I just know what street it's on. So like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it. There it is. There's the beef.
Because there's very few places in the Bay Area that have ground beef burritos, which I guess I understand, but I also don't understand. I mean, we used to live over there. And when I found out, I was like, this is the best neighborhood. And it's just a ground beef burrito that's spicy. So all the stuff, guacamole, sour cream, pico de gallo. And usually I'll have it wrapped in like a shrimp tortilla because it just feels like it's not shrimp. I mean like a spinach tortilla.
What's that?
No, a spinach tortilla because it just feels healthier, even though
totally.
I'm sure it's not at all.
Totally. You are a semi-finalist on Celebrity Jeopardy, which is so amazing and so fun. I just have to name drop that I actually live in the same neighborhood as Ken Jennings here in Seattle, and I'm friends with him and his wife.
Oh,
yeah.
Tell him I said hello.
I will.
Ken is such a great guy. He's such a great guy.
He is.
I knew him before
funny.
when he was just a Jeopardy winner. We were on a podcast. We were on Doug Benson's podcast years ago.
I want to hear a little about your experience because I read your Substack and it just sounded so joyful for you to be walking in the world after this win as somebody who, has already had a CNN show and all of this fame. And then it's like a different kind of recognition being on Jeopardy.
Yeah, no, it's really when they offered it to me, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. But I was also like nervous. Like, you just don't want to look bad. But I also really like Ken a lot. Like, I like him a lot. I was really happy for him when he got it. Well, if it's not going to be LeVar Burton, it should be Ken. So I was like, if LeVar wants it, but Ken. And then to see how well he's done with it, I'm just happy for people who have sort of found the right place. And also, I like people who fall into things. Like, he didn't audition to be on Jeopardy to one day have this career. And it's like a 40-year in showbiz job he has. Like, so it's like, I think about his family and oh my God, they'll be so secure financially. I'm a dad now. They'll be financially secure. And
I know he was a software engineer. I mean, you just wouldn't see it coming.
Yeah. And then when I went, like, the woman who did my hair was like, I think I put it in a Substack. She was like, I've been doing Vanna White's hair for 30 years. And I was kind of like, why aren't you on Celebrity Jeopardy? And then people watch Jeopardy who don't watch the other things I do. So like a little kid who was dressed up in a baseball outfit from Little League was like, I saw you on Celebrity Jeopardy. Like, and it's just it's just different people. And they're also proud that an Oaklander won on that episode. And then I ran into this woman who was like, I saw you on Celebrity Jeopardy. I was like, oh, thanks, ma'am. That's very nice of you. And then she revealed that she had won like 5 times in a row back in the day when that's all they allowed you to do. And so at one point she was the winningest woman on Jeopardy.
Sandra Gore.
Yes. And she was just this lady walking around. We were both at the Epicurious food court in Berkeley. And then I introduced her to my kids and they were all excited. It was just a very sweet. And then Robin Schwartz, who's another Jeopardy champion, who's on Substack. And so we're going to talk about the experience of Jeopardy. Yeah, I find the Jeopardy people have been very nice. Like, the champions and the people who've played on Jeopardy have reached out to me and been very nice because I'm like, I'm on discount Jeopardy. And they're like, no, it's the same. Yeah, but it's been a very sweet, it's like another flavor of my career that I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting this. And so it is very nice to be included and to feel like that I'm doing some people well. And also, to be quite honest, it's nice when I talk to other people who studied a lot. And I know the reason why I did well on Jeopardy, the episodes I was on, is because I just sort of am curious about everything. And so I feel good that my habit of not studying is still paying off in life.
Yeah. And that's something that Ken has said too. Like, the first time I met him was having him on my show years ago. And that's what he said. He's like, it's not always being, quote, smart. It's being curious.
Yes.
He's like, I was a trivia kid. Like, I just like to know stuff, like a little bit about everything.
I am the same as Ken Jennings, except a lot not as smart, except the Celebrity Jeopardy.
No.
But like, there's a question in the first episode where it's about a Japanese religion. And I'm like, the answer is Shintoism. And I don't even know why I know that. And I shouldn't have even answered it because I was like, when I answer, I go, what is Shintoism? And I was like, literally, what is it? I don't know what it is. And Ken was like, you were surprised yourself? I was like, yeah, I sure did. So yeah.
I always feel proud of my brain in those moments where I go, how do I know that? Where did that come from? It just pops out of your mouth and you're like, yay, brain. Thank you.
And then really it's all about button management and anxiety management. Because if you don't figure out the button, it doesn't matter how smart you are. You have to ring it at the exact time. And you can't ring it too early because they'll lock you out. And then it's about the fact that the categories are so diverse that your brain sometimes can't switch the track over. And you're like, I know this, but I can't. My brain is just still over in cute dog names or something. And I can't switch it to like Alexander Hamilton. Like, I can't figure out how to get it over here. Like, I always joked that at some point they could be like, Kamau, this is your middle name. And I'd be like, I don't know it. I know it. Yeah.
Well, you have this kind of cool full circle moment with Jeopardy as well, because you were a clue. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. During one of I guess it was the Tournament of Champions. It was all the Jeopardy champions. Because I feel like it made sense that I would be a hard clue because I was, I'm not that famous.
You were an 800.
Yeah. And Ken got the answer right. And I remember when people texted me, they're like, you were a clue on Jeopardy. And I was like, who the hell on Jeopardy would know me? And it was the guy I'd met before.
So funny.
Yeah.
So funny. My last question is the dumbest question, but my brain goes to these places.
Good.
We're both Bells. I have an extra E, but we're both Bells. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what foods have Bell in them? So we have the Baby Bell and we have the bell pepper. Is that the cheese? We got the little cheese, the little red wax cheese and the bell pepper.
Which are in my refrigerator right now because my kids eat them for lunch. So yes, I know Baby Bell cheese.
And then the bell pepper.
And my kids like bell peppers. That's funny.
Yeah, you're the people of the bells. For whatever this means to you, are you more of a Baby Bell or are you more of a bell pepper?
Oh, wow.
I ask the hard questions.
I guess I'm more of a bell pepper because I only eat Baby Bells when my kids don't eat them and I don't want them to go to waste. Because they're not, they're made for kids really because they're sort of like not really very flavorful.
You'd much prefer a goat's head, something more flavorful.
Yeah, like you heard from my recipe for mac and cheese. I'm a Gruyere guy. And then I would say bell pepper because a lot of people hate bell peppers, but I am not a hater of bell peppers. I'll eat them raw. I'll eat them on pizza. I've always been okay with I'll eat them in salads. I'm always okay with bell peppers.
Because you like the underdog. That could be the metaphor there.
I like the underdog. Yeah. It's funny. It's funny having the last name Bell. It's just funny because I forget how regular of a word it is because it's just my last name.
Right.
And then sometimes I'll realize, oh yeah, it's just like a word. Like
Totally.
It's just like a word. It's just like and then there's not a lot of people with that last name, maybe more of a British last name. Whenever I run into other Bells that aren't members of my family, I'm like, we're probably related. Like, cause there's just not that many of us. And then it's funny to hear your kids. You have kids and they're talking about their last names. It's like, it's so weird that your last name is mine. I get caught up sometimes.
No, that's the existential stuff that life is all about. Mm-hmm. Did you know this? Speaking of this, I was in Iceland for the first time in like the end of summer and I learned.
I didn't know you were in Iceland for the first time at the end of summer.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, I thought your agent would have told you. Okay.
They're going to get a talking to.
Yeah, you should have heard it through the Bell Monthly News where I was at the end of the summer. And the way that they do last names there are so interesting. So by law, you're not allowed to change your name, which means women cannot take their husband's last name by law. And then if you have a son, the son is named son of the dad's name. So like your son's name would be son of Kamau. And then the daughters are daughter of the wife's name. So if you have two kids and you have a girl and a boy, all four people in the family have a different last name.
Oh, that sounds like a passport nightmare. That sounds like a travel problem outside of Iceland. You said they're too small of a country to be doing stuff like that. We need to invade Iceland and clear up that name situation. I don't want to take it over as the 51st state. That's too small of a country to cause people that many problems when they're traveling internationally. I don't want your territory or any of your resources, Iceland. I just want to help the parents who are traveling internationally with 4 different last names on their documents. That's a problem.
Kamau, thank you so much. It was really fun chatting with you, and I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
And that was W. Kamau Bell's Leftovers. Kamau is out on the road now touring his new stand-up show, Who's With Me? You can find a link to tickets in the show notes. The Leftovers and Your Last Meal are both products of Seattle's Cascade PBS. This episode was mixed and mastered by Sarah Bernard with editing and production assistance from Aliha Syed. Original theme music by Prom Queen. Make sure and get tickets to see Your Last Meal live in Seattle this Saturday, May 31st at the Cascade PBS Ideas Fest. I'll be interviewing Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal. Get tickets at cascadepbs.org/festival. And you can watch both seasons of my TV show, The Nosh, at cascadepbs.org. Our bagel episode from season 1 was recently nominated for an Emmy. Episodes are quick bites. They're just 8.5 minutes. I would be thrilled if you checked out the show. I'm Rachel Belle, and this is The Leftovers. Hi, food lovers. Season 2 of my TV show, The Nosh, is out now. And I know I'm biased because I co-produced it, I hosted it, I wrote it, but it is a really fun season. We get into everything from an Ethiopian coffee ceremony in Seattle's Pike Place Market. I get to do some fancy wilderness cooking with a TikTok influencer. Don't watch the pizza episode unless you have pizza in front of your face. You will regret it. And this is PBS, so it is shot beautifully. They're just these tasty little 8.5 minute bites. So I think everybody has time to watch. You can watch The Nosh anytime at cascadepbs.org, on the Cascade PBS app, or if you're in Washington or Canada, it's on Cascade PBS Channel 9, Thursday nights at 8:50 p.m. Pacific.